I would like to begin by sharing a short story. A pair of frogs were traveling together through the forest when they fell into a pit. When some other frogs noticed the depth of the pit, they told the frogs below there was no hope of getting out. The two small frogs below ignored them and continued to try to jump out of the pit. Despite their efforts, the frogs above continued to discourage them. Eventually, one frog listened and just gave up. As the other frog continued to jump, the frogs ahead continued to tell him to stop the pain and to give up. He ignored them, jumped even harder, and finally made it out. The other frogs asked, "Did you not hear us?" The smaller frog explained that he was deaf, and he assumed they were encouraging him the whole time. My fellow students and I refuse to be the frog at the bottom of the pit who just gave up. I would now like to share a poem that I've prepared. The violence around us is not normal. Ignoring the problem is far from moral. It's the peace and the solace of ignoring reality that keeps us comfortable. This pattern of tragedies, day after day, is truly insufferable. It's the drive and fervor for change that makes a difference possible. To sit back and say nothing would be simply irresponsible. On average, 96 Americans are killed each day with a gun. Doesn't that outweigh the price of having some fun? 1 in 3 Americans know someone who has been shot. I guess we should keep our guns though, because that's worth a lot. 48 mass shootings in just 2018. Are our lives less important than keeping our government's wallets green? Statistics give the surface view, but how would you feel if it happened to someone you knew? We live with a cancer in our society. My fellow students and I enter a school filled with anxiety. A school should be a place for growth and prosperity. Rather, it glimmers violence and disparity. A school should be a place to make a lifelong friend. So why can we only think about how to defend? A school should be a place where memories are made. The lack of action being taken makes me feel betrayed. Love your kids, not your guns. Don't let this be the cause of losing a loved one. America needs a change for gun control, at least a realistic goal. Let us take a stand and be declarative. Let's work now to change the narrative. It is up to us to make change in our culture. It is up to us to ensure safety for one another. I can't say I have the solution, but I don't want to be just a statistic from a lack of revolution. I'd like to leave you with one final quote. We must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools. Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you.